All right, y'all, come on in. Today we're gonna look at this Boudoir Facebook ad right here. This one has something special I do like in it. And we're gonna see what we're doing good with this one to get good results and what we're doing bad, kind of some mistakes we're making, and it's leading to us getting bad results. And as always, got my kind of my 10 mistake framework that I've already used on other Boudoir Facebook ads to, fix them up. And on average, I've been able to get 2 to 4x the number of women coming through the ads, consuming the ad copy, getting pre-qualified, all for the same ad spend. A much higher chance the ads sustain and scale. And the number or the metric we really focus on is this one, unique CTR all, which is kind of the metric everyone forgets about and nobody looks at. But this is basically how many women out of 100 is our ad relevant to? AKA how many women out of 100 are clicking somewhere, something on our ad. And most Boudoir Facebook ads I'm seeing, their unique CTRL is going to be below 6% and usually like way below. And that's like a much higher chance for the ads to just do worse and worse over time. So instead we want to get this above 6%, and have a much better chance the ads actually do better and better over time. Ad sustain and scale the business. So that's what I've been able to accomplish already. So we're going to kind of do the same framework here. Say, actually see kind of these 10 mistakes. These are all things that hurt the unique CTRL, hurt conversion rate, hurt all these ad metrics. And normally when Boudoir photographers have been like running ads, Boudoir Facebook ads for a long time, this thing of, same ad spend, worse and worse results over time, less bookings, less sales, even though it's the same ad that was working. They run into this and, they're feeling kind of desperate. They don't know what's causing it, what to do. Most people just kind of change the picture and just kind of re-roll the dice. But the same, kind of structural mistakes of the ad still exist. And these are the 10 mistakes, that we'll be talking about now. And because the 10 mistakes still exist when they refresh their creative, it's the same thing happens. The next ad does look good at the beginning, but then dies off quicker and quicker. The other kind of path is if they're using ad agency, they're paying a ton of money every month, and then they're paying ad spend on top of that, and the ad agency is getting them literally worse and worse results, week after week, month after month, and they're just going through, kind of refreshing the creatives. But again, same structural mistakes with the ads. Again, the same 10 mistakes we're going to talk about today, which leads to the ads. Again, same ad spend, worse and worse results over time. So we're going to talk about these mistakes and actually the root cause issue that's causing these ads to burn out, causing the ads to die out that kind of everyone's missing. And they all derive from these 10 mistakes that this video is about. So the root cause issue that basically nobody else is seeing is when our ads go out to the first group of women, our Boudoir Facebook ads to the first tranche of women, call that tranche 1. Ad metrics come out of it, unique CTR all, unique CTR link, so link click-through rate. Also conversion data comes out of that. And all that data is actually fed back into the meta ad algorithm. Now, when our ads have, these mistakes, these top 10 mistakes, it results in like lower unique CTR all, lower ad metrics, lower conversions. And all that data feeds back into the meta ad algorithm. And so when meta ad algorithms decide who to send our ad to for tranche 2, it's actually sending it to worse meta profiles, literally like worse meta profiles. So the people that we send the ad to, same ad spend, but fewer are going to convert. So same ad spend, worse results for tranche 2. And then the data and results from tranche 2 then guess what? That goes back into the meta ad algorithm. And then for tranche 3, our ads go to even worse meta profiles, where kind of like the default global level conversion rate of that profile is just lower. So they get kind of the lower quality ads. So this is what results in same ad spend, worse and worse and worse results over time. We call this the downward spiral of despair. And this all comes from our lower end metrics and results from tranche 1 women, which comes from these 10 mistakes we're going to talk about today. Now, if we fix these 10 mistakes and we don't make them, we got a much better chance to take the second path, the better path with our ads, So we run our ads to tranche 1 women. We get good initial ad metrics, good basically conversion data as well, and some other metrics. All that feeds back into the meta ad algorithm. And guess what? We actually, when the meta ad algorithm is deciding who to send the ads to for tranche 2, we actually unlock higher quality meta profiles that have a higher like global or master or account level conversion rate. So a higher chance they're going to convert on any ad shown to them kind of off rip. These are basically the premium placements that we unlock for having good ads that convert well, but also work with the meta ad algorithm, work with newsfeed psychology that everyone's brain has been, is ingrained with already. And once we get the better data, better results, better ad metrics from that second tranche 2 women, that feeds back into the meta ad algorithm again. And our ads go to higher quality, higher quality meta profiles for tranche 3, which gives this same ad spend even better results. And so this is what allows ads to sustain and scale over time. So same ad spend, better and better and better results over time, scale the business. And these are the only two options our ads can go through: downward spiral of despair or upward spiral of awesomeness. And when we fix these mistakes we're going to talk about today, we've got a much higher chance of going through the upward spiral of awesomeness. And if all the numbers stay the same, where it's 2 to 4x more women coming through for same ad spend, clicking through, engaging with the ads, most likely there's going to be more sales at the same ad spend. So now we're going to move on to the top 10 mistakes. So mistake number 1, I always look for: does it look like an ad? So what I look for that is I look at the creative and basically really just looking to see if there's text on it. But let's see where we go here. All right, so this looks like an ad. So we're going to have actually more women scrolling by, not even consuming what we've written up top, not even consuming our ad copy or our see more headline. It's going to have fewer women becoming pre-qualified. We're going to have fewer qualified leads, fewer qualified appointments, which results in more price objections, more price hunters, more ghosting, and then fewer conversions, fewer sales, fewer bookings, lower ROAS, and all of that data feeds back into the meta ad algorithm. Our ads actually go to lower quality meta profiles for tranche 2, where they have just kind of a lower average conversion rate, which means same ad spend, worse results, tranche 2, feeds back into the meta ad algorithm again. Same ad spend, even worse results, tranche 3. And our ad is now our ad is going down the downward spiral of despair, ad burning out, ad dying out, refresh creative. All right, the next 4 mistakes can happen up here in the see more headline. This is the first 2 3/4 lines on mobile. Here in this ad, we're only using, looks like, probably just 1.25 lines. So we're missing a lot of real estate here. We can get really specific, provide a lot of context. And we need to use every single character here, because this is where 95% of ad spend is won or lost. Literally 95% of ad spend is won or lost here in the see more headline. Because literally 100 out of 100 women will see this as they're scrolling, what I've highlighted here. So they're exposed to that. But a good Boudoir Facebook ad will have 5% of women clicking the ... see more and like expanding the ad copy like that. Literally 5 out of 100. So 5 out of 100 will actually be able to see this and potentially read it. So 100 out of 100, so what's that, 20, oops, that's literally 20x more people. Yeah, literally like 20x more people are actually able to see what we're putting in the see more headline up here. And what we want to happen is, you know, to have some relevance to the women reading. And if we can get that, get them to click the ... see more consumer ad copy. But we got to win up here called the see more headline. All right, so the first thing we gotta have, so first thing is we want to have a who. Who are we speaking to? Literally, who are we speaking to? What's a self-label they would have? You know, where they're scrolling through here, they kind of pick up on the self-label, they scroll back up to read it because they say, oh, they're talking about me. So we do not have a self-label here, so we're gonna have fewer women feeling the see more headline up here. It's first 1 to 2 sentences, first 2 3/4 lines on Facebook mobile newsfeed. We're going to have less women feeling like we're speaking to them, so less women clicking through to read our full ad copy, which means less women are becoming pre-qualified. And that means less qualified leads, less qualified appointments, which is more booking, or basically more ghosting, more price hunters, more price objections, fewer bookings, fewer sales, lower revenue, lower ROAS, all feeds back into the meta ad algorithm, which results in worse, our ads going to worse meta profiles for tranche 2. And so, you know, same ad spend, worse results, feeds back. So we've entered the downward spiral of despair already with our ad, and feeds back into the meta ad algorithm again, going to tranche 3, even worse meta profile. So same ad spend, worse results, and our ad's just burning out, dying out, and we got to refresh creative. And now, one other thing about the see more headline, the reason why we care about first 2 3/4 lines on Facebook mobile newsfeed is this is where the highest number of ad impressions will actually take place. And it's actually where we need to verify our messaging before expanding to other placements with non-resident messaging. So if we're in the backend Meta Ads Manager, we go on the top right of the columns, we click breakdown, click on placements, then we go in the bottom left of the columns, there's this summary row, summary arrow. So click that to bring up, kind of bring up that menu and sort impressions highest to lowest, and Facebook mobile newsfeed will be number 1 up there. So this is literally where most of the impressions, so most of the testing will be happening, and that's why we care about this first 2 3/4 lines on Facebook mobile newsfeed, because it's where most of our money will be going. All right, the second out of 4 things we need to see more headline is a negative experience. What negative experience are women in our city going through that they're saying in their brains that they want to get away from and not deal with anymore? So what is that? And why do we care about it? So actually, we care the most about this, the negative experience, more than honestly anything else. And it's the reason we put the negative first, the negative experience first, out of the next 3 specific attributes. And the reason we do that is because humans are biologically programmed, just like through evolution, to take an act, to literally like take an action, like actually do something at literally like 100x the rate when they are in some negative experience or pain, and to get out of that pain and get to just back to normal / no pain / homeostasis. So literally negative experience just back to normal. The probability the human takes an action is literally 100x higher than that same human taking action, go from no pain / normal / homeostasis to some positive, some positive state, some gain, some benefit. Literally 100x difference. And we know this because if we think of ourselves, we go to the dentist, we get our 6-month teeth cleaning done, our 6-month checkup, and we're talking to the secretary ladies, we're paying, and then they're asking us, hey, are you free 163 days from now on Wednesday at 8:15 a.m.? And we're like, dude, I literally ain't got no idea, but hit me up closer to then, and I'll actually know my schedule, and then I'll see when I can come in. So they put us in their auto texter. It texts us, month 3, we ignore it. Month 4, we ignore it. Month 5, we ignore it. And guess what? Month 6 comes and goes, and we never went to the dentist. We completely skipped everything. So why is that? Well, we're working on our business, we're focused, we're busy, we got momentum, flow state, we like our schedule, we always got stuff planned, our schedule's stuffed, we got so many things to do. And the guaranteed gains, or positives of going to the dentist, which are slightly cleaner teeth, and then, knowing, all cavities been taken care of, or, we got no cavities in our mouth, kind of that peace of mind. So those two positives, they're just not enough. It's just not enough positive there for us to take an action to put the dentist on the calendar and then show up to the dentist appointment. That's not enough positive there. Like, we're in our normal, no pain, normal state, no pain state, working on the business. Don't feel like we got to focus on our teeth that much, so, we're chilling. And so we don't do our 6-month teeth cleaning or checkup. Now, they do auto text again month 8, month 10, and month 12. And again, we ignore all those. So now we've missed 2 6-month teeth cleanings and appointments and checkups. And again, it's the same reason, we're busy, we're focused, we're working on the business. That's actually the bigger pain or negative experience we're dealing right now, putting fires out there. And we don't have any negative experience with our teeth. Our teeth are fine. So the gain of going to the dentist, changing our schedule around, pushing everything back, probably screwing up our week with how much we got to do. Those gains of guaranteed slightly cleaner teeth and guaranteed no cavities, that's just not enough positive, not enough gain to actually get us to take an action, put the dentist on the calendar, and show up for our appointment. All right. Now the end of month 13 comes around, and we're eating breakfast, and the right side of our mouth, on the right side, on the back, on the bottom, one of those molars down there, there's pain with every bite with our breakfast, pain. And so, like, oh, dude, this really hurts. This is terrible. But we go the rest of the morning. Yeah, there's still some lingering pain, in our tooth, also a little bit in our jaw. And we make it to lunch, and we decided to be smart this time. We actually eat our lunch on the left side of our mouth. And we still got some pain on the right side. Our teeth are still touching a little bit on the right side, still a little bit of jaw pain, and, muscle memory, some food still goes over there too. So still a lot more pain, and we can't take it. We only eat half our lunch, and then we call up, we're like, dude, I can't, this is so annoying. I can't handle this. I can't even focus during the day. Couldn't even focus this morning because of this pain. I can't, I probably won't be able to eat dinner, probably not gonna be able to sleep. And we're like, I gotta solve this thing out. This is too annoying, too much disruption, too much negative experience, pain in my life right now. So we call up our dentist, and we're like, what do you mean you can't get me in at 6:45 a.m. tomorrow? What do you mean you're booked 3 weeks out? And they're like, yeah, dude, we're booked 3 weeks out. We can put you on the cancellation list. So if someone cancels, maybe we can slot you in, but no guarantees right now. And we're thinking, dude, I can't even eat, can't focus, and I can't sleep. Won't be able to sleep tonight. I got to get this thing solved ASAP. So we hang up on our dentist, and we call literally every single other dentist in our city. Hey, can you get me in tomorrow morning? Hey, can you get me in tomorrow morning? Hey, can you get me in tomorrow morning? And finally, we get someone that says, yes, we got a slot open tomorrow morning. Come on in. So we go in the next morning. We barely slept at all, but we go in. You know, they do the X-ray to see what the heck's going on. And dude, we got a big cavity, that tooth in the back right bottom of our mouth, big cavity. So they, clean it out. They fill it with the gel. They give us the, the UV pen to harden it. And then we do that bite paper to see if the tooth that they fill in is the right height. The bite paper. And they also do the rest, kind of the rest of the 6-month checkup, teeth cleanings, all that stuff. We leave the dentist, kind of bite in the air with our fixed tooth. No pain in our tooth, no pain in our jaw. Awesome. And then we go to breakfast. No pain when we're eating. I'm like, oh my God, yes, thank God. No, I can finally eat. I can finally focus. I can finally sleep. No pain. Back to normal. Homeostasis. And so there's two situations in that story. Number one was, our teeth were fine for 13 months, which is literally like 400 days. We did nothing. We took zero action to go from the no pain / neutral / normal state to the positive / gain / like pleasure state of slightly cleaner teeth and peace of mind knowing we have no cavities. Zero action in 400 days to go from normal to positive state. But one day with pain, dude, literally one day being, it was even more like half a day, but we'll say one day being in pain, we took a massive action to call our dentist, try to get them on the calendar, and when they fell through, dude, we called every single other dentist in the city, just like, dude, somebody get me in. This pain is so annoying. So one day with pain, we take massive action to get out of pain, back to the normal / no pain / neutral homeostasis state. And then 400 days, we have an opportunity to give some positive gain and we don't take it. So literally 400x difference in probability human takes action to get away from pain back to normal compared to taking action to go from normal to some gain or some positive. So I originally said 100x when I first started explaining this, but this example is 400x. So this is why we always lead with the negative experience at the beginning of the Seymour headline. All right, so here we go, back to this. No, we're missing a negative. Our boudoir shoot's awkward. No. So a negative would be, something that they're saying in their brain that they want to get away from, where boudoir shoots is the solution that we're offering. So no, don't have a neg here, but honestly, for the first 5 minutes, yes. All right, so no negative. So women scrolling by, there's going to be less here relevant to them to capture their attention, get them to scroll back up. So we're going to less women to read the Seymour headline, less women to click ... Seymour, less women to read our full ad copy, less women getting pre-qualified. So we're having fewer qualified leads, fewer qualified appointments, more price hunters, more price objections, more ghosting, fewer sales, lower revenue, fewer bookings, lower conversions, lower ROAS, all feeds back into the meta ad algorithm. And our ads go to worse prospects, lower quality meta profiles for tranche 2. And as a result, same ad spend, worse results compared to tranche 1. Our ad's in the downward spiral of despair already. Just kind of keeps feeding in on itself. Low results, low results leads to our ads going to lower quality meta profiles, which leads to even lower results. Yeah, downward spiral of despair. We got it. All right. Ad burning out, ad down out, refresh creative. All right, the next thing we need to have in the Seymour headline is a positive. What positive thing are women in our city saying in their brains? And yeah, we test all these things. The data tells us where to go, kind of what is most relevant. So we do not need to be mind readers. So what's a positive thing women are saying in their brains that they want to get to? Kind of like they want to cross the river, get to the other side of the riverbank because they got this positive thing that they're saying in their brains that they want. So are we saying that here? No. So we're not saying anything positive that women want. So we're missing this positive. So we're gonna have less women feeling this our ad's relevant to them. So fewer women clicking ... see more to open the ad copy. So we're having fewer women reading and consuming the full ad copy. And as a result, fewer qualified leads because less women. The women get pre-qualified by reading the full ad copy. So we're going to have fewer qualified leads, fewer qualified appointments, and we're also going to have more ghosting, more price hunters, more price objections, fewer bookings, fewer sales calls, lower revenue, lower sales, lower ROAS, fewer conversions, all feeds back into the meta ad algorithm. Ads go to lower quality meta profiles for tranche 2, which have a kind of just a lower master level of conversion rate. And we're in the downward spiral of despair. Same ad spend, worse and worse and worse results over time. Ads burning out, ads dying out. Refresh creative. All right, the fourth and final thing we need in the See More headline is a hesitation/roadblock. What is something that women in our city are saying in their brain that's stopping them from moving forward with a solution? So if we say the negative experience is like the riverbank that they're on, the positive thing that they want is the other side of the river, and then the hesitation/roadblock is some reason they're not taking, they're not taking the bridges over that are present to them, or they're not taking the boats over that are present to them, or they're not taking a helicopter or something. So what's the reason in their brain they're saying they're not going to take either one of these solutions, all these solutions, or someone specific solution? It's either what they know about it and they don't want to do, or they are incorrectly assuming they do have to do no or B, and that's an incorrect assumption, but they don't know it's an incorrect assumption. And again, yeah, we test all this stuff and the data tells us kind of what the correct path is. And the reason why I like this ad is, yes, we actually do have a hesitation/roadblock, and this is the one that's most often missed. So a woman could be thinking boudoir shoots are awkward, and let's say ours is, our solution's a bridge. That is something that's preventing them from crossing the bridge, from getting away from the negative and acquiring this other different positive. They're thinking it's awkward. So this is awesome. I like seeing this one because this is the most often missed. That's why I want to pick this one for us to review. Yes, there are women in our city that are thinking either boudoir shoots are awkward, or they're asking the question, are boudoir shoots awkward? So this is perfect. Honestly, for the first full minutes, yes. All right, so are boudoir shoots awkward? Yes, this is something that's stopping women from using the solution, even though it's getting them away from where they don't want to be and then bringing them to this other position with this second different thing that they also want to have, this positive thing. And it being awkward is hesitation/roadblock in their brain. So awesome. So yeah, when women are scrolling, we're going to have more relevance, more women coming back up to read the See More headline. So leads to more women clicking ... see more, which opens the full ad copy, which leads to more women reading the full ad copy, becoming pre-qualified. So we're going to have more qualified leads, more qualified appointments, fewer price hunters, fewer price objections, less ghosting, and we're getting more sales, more revenue, more bookings, more clients, more higher ROAS, more conversions. All feeds back into the meta ad algorithm. Our ads then basically unlock higher quality meta profiles, kind of like the higher tier 2. And as a result, we pay the same ad spend, but we get better results. Our same daily spend, but we're getting better results. And That feeds back into the meta ad algorithm again to go to tranche 3. So again, same ad spend, better results. Our ads sustain and scale. Same ad spend, better results over the time. Scale the business. Upward spiral of awesomeness. This is where we got to get to. All right, so those are the first five mistakes that can happen in a Boudoir Facebook ad. Now we're going to go to the next 3, which happen here in the rest of the ad copy. And the first one happens up at the top, where we captured the women's attention with the see more headline up top. We got them to click dot 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 see more. This is kind of like our hook 1. So we got them to stop, scroll to scroll. They were in fast, brain was in fast mode. We got them to read see more headline, click dot 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 see more. So that's kind of their slower mode in their brain. And then we smack them in the face with a huge wall of text to put their brain in super slow mode. It's really slowed down, really focused intently, whereas before they were, TikTok brain scrolling. And would actually, because we smacked them in the face with text, we need to literally have a hook 2 right after they click the dot 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 see more. So we always want to use an authority hook, a why you should listen to me hook. Same thing I did at the beginning of this video, saying, hey, I've already 2 to 4x the amount of women consuming the ad copy for the same ad spend. These women are actually more specific, so they're going to be more qualified off rip, which normally means higher conversion rate. And again, all for the same ad spend, just fixing some of these top 10 mistakes. So that was, why you should listen to me and keep watching the video. That's what that was. So similarly, we got to have here in the ad copy. Nope. All right. Now we're missing. We're missing the authority hook, the hook 2. So we're gonna have less women feeling like they should read the full ad copy, which means less women will read the full ad copy, which means we're gonna have fewer women becoming pre-qualified, and which results in fewer qualified leads, fewer qualified appointments, more ghosting, more price hunters, more price objections, lower sales, lower revenue, lower bookings, fewer conversions, lower ROAS, all feeds back into the meta ad algorithm, and our ads go to worse quality meta profiles for tranche 2, which all things being equal results in same ad spend, lower results over time, downward spiral of despair, same ad spend, worse and worse and worse, worse results over time, ads dying out, ads burning out, refresh creative. All right, the next thing we want to have in the ad copy is basically a story/narrative. We basically want to write the movie script of what's going on in our women's life that Boudoir shoot is perfect for. What is actually going on? This is where we got to show that we understand them. We empathize with them. We see them. We know what the heck they're going through. We know what they're feeling. We know what they're thinking. And we call this our punch 2, basically like write the movie script, write the movie lines for this punch 2. And the reason we call it punch 2 is because punch 1 is actually up here, the see more headline, which is correctly getting the conversation women are having in their brains. And when we do that, they say, oh my God, he's literally talking about everything I'm saying to myself, that I don't want this thing, I do want this other thing, and I don't want to have to deal with these things. Oh my God, all right, I got to click dot 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 see more. He's definitely talking to me. And then the punch, so is punch 1, see more headline. Punch 2 then is story/narrative in the body copy, saying like, oh my God, it's like they got a third-person camera following me around. Dude, they got my exact life correct as well. Like whatever they're talking about here, I gotta keep reading because this thing seems to be exactly for me and what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling, what's going on in my life right at this moment. And that is exactly what we want because relevance leads to consideration, leads to purchase. So we're getting relevant in the conversation in their head and relevant in like kind of have like we have a camera following them around. So that's our 1-2 punch. We got to get this right because one, they'll actually remember us and we'll stand out for being specific. And the reason why that's important is once, here's some meta backend ad algorithm wizardry. Once women in our city click on one Boudoir Facebook ad, either ours or another competitor's, they are literally fed 20 more Boudoir Facebook ads and on IG as well for the next 24 hours. Literally every competitor's Facebook ad gets thrown in after they engage with one. And we can test this by going to go click on some Boudoir Facebook ads today. Our feed will be filled with them in the next 24 hours. All competitors in our city. And so us getting specific allows us to stand out, because everyone has either A, generic messaging, or B, copying someone else's script or formula. So everyone's using basically the same stuff, so they don't stand out for that. So that's kind of 5% the reason we want to get specific. But the 95% reason we want to get specific is because when we hit the 1-2 punch correctly, it puts us in a market of one. Literally, we're seen as their only option, which means they're more willing to pay a higher price and less price objections at all, if any. Kind of lower sales, shorter sales cycle, less time to buy. Like in the dentist example, if all the dentists in our city, they only did 6-month teeth cleanings, and I'm like, well, I've got tooth pain. Who fixes tooth pain? When I chew. Tooth pain when I'm chewing my food. And there's only one dude, one dentist dude that fixes tooth pain when we're chewing our food. I mean, dude, we're booking with them ASAP, and we're gonna pay a ton of money, and we're more happy to pay more money because they're literally the one option in the city specifically for us. So we got to get this 1-2 punch correct. It's the only way we can outcompete everyone else. And dude, especially if someone else in the city is already using this strategy, like we got to use it then to just equal them, and stay, stay default competitive, not gain or not lose any ground. So do we have a story / headline here? Oh, look at this. Here's another hesitation / roadblock. You don't need experience. Confidence is a prerequisite. The result, that's a positive. All these things, we gotta get them in the Seymour headline. And also, depending on how well they test. But no, all right, so we're missing a story / narrative. So we're not empathizing with them. We're not showing we understand what the heck's going on in their life, which, I did also dig in this video saying Boudoir photographers running ads on their own. Ads keep doing worse and worse over time, feeling desperate. Or using an agency. Why the heck am I paying them tons of money every month? They probably already gave me their best ads anyways. I can just keep running it on my own, and they're giving me worse results and over time, and I'm paying them a bunch of money. So that was kind of a little bit of the story / narrative right there. All right, so no story / narrative here. So women reading this are not feeling like we're specifically for them. So we're gonna have fewer women actually, actually finish reading the ad copy. So fewer women getting pre-qualified. And when fewer women get pre-qualified, we're going to have fewer qualified leads, fewer qualified appointments, more price hunters, more price objections, more tire kickers, more ghosting, which results in fewer sales, fewer bookings, less revenue, lower ROAS, fewer conversions. All feeds back into the meta ad algorithm, resulting in our ads going, the data from tranche 1, which results in our ads going to lower quality meta profiles for tranche 2, which results in same ad spend, worse results. And we're going through the downward spiral of despair already. Same ad spend, worse and worse and worse results over time. Ad dies out, ad burns out, refresh creative. All right, the third and final thing we want to have in the body copy is our full offer. Because actually the real purpose of our ad is to get our full offer to as many of the right people as possible with the right contextual frame for the highest volume of women that fit that contextual frame in our city. So let's see what we got here. No, we're missing the full offer here. This is a big one. Because having the full offer here gets the correct, 2% of people that click ... see more to actually click over and most likely take an action. But when we're missing it, we're having like 98% of the people that would be unqualified also click over. But instead of, or normally we would have them just keep on scrolling past, which is what we would want. We'll talk about that in the next mistake because we're on mistake number 8 right now. All right, so we're missing full offer. So we're having less women getting pre-qualified with our body copy. So we're having fewer qualified leads, fewer qualified appointments, more price hunters, more price objections, more ghosting, more no answers, lower sales, lower revenue, lower ROAS, fewer conversions from tranche 1 women. All feeds back into the meta ad algorithm, results in our ads going to worse quality meta profiles for tranche 2 women, which results in same ad spend, lower results over time. Our ads going through the downward spiral of despair already. Same ad spend, worse and worse and worse results over time, keeps feeding into each other, downward spiral of despair, can't get out of it. And we actually got to refresh the creative. I mean, that's the only thing we know how to do since we didn't know kind of these structural root cause issues prior. But now we got a better strategy. All right, the final two mistakes happen here at the bottom of the ad creative. Bottom of the ad creative. So mistake number 9 is having a below creative headline, a description, or button. Basically, any text, any buttons below the ad, always, always, always a mistake. 3 reasons why. Reason number 1, 5% of the reason for mistake number 9 ties into mistake number 1, makes it look more like an ad. When it looks more like an ad, people posting a picture of their dog. Do they have them below creative headline or a button below it? These are ad attributes. So with the ad attributes, more women are going to be scrolling on by and not consuming what we got to say, even though they could be perfect for them. But everyone's got ad blindness, banner blindness. Nobody wants to be sold to. That's reason number 1 for mistake number 9. Now reason number 2. 15% of the reason for mistake number 9. Some newsfeed psychology here. So when our women are scrolling, basically what happens, their brain's in fast mode, something captures their attention and their subconscious. And basically when they get here, and they're actually looking at these words here in the bottom left, their subconscious has registered like 1/4 to 1/3 of these words here that I got highlighted in the See More headline. Boudoir, awkward, 5 minutes, but their eyes are here. So if those words are not exactly congruent, it's going to automatically and instantly trigger the error detection network in their brain, which signals error, incongruent, confusion, and finally, keep scrolling. When we actually want them to come back up and read what the heck we got going on. And so, even if we did have the correct text down here in the bottom left, it still fits in with mistake number 1, makes it look more like an ad. So it's always a mistake to have text here in the bottom left. Any below creative headline, any description, any button, always a mistake. Now, reason number 3 for mistake number 9, 80% of the reason for mistake number 9 is, this is the big one, because text and buttons here at the bottom enable women to go to the next page of our ad, go to where we're sending them to, before being forced to click ... see more, which is right above this, on line 3, right above here. And before being forced to click ... see more, reading through our ad body copy and then clicking over to our page after becoming fully pre-qualified. And here's why having these options down here at the bottom is an issue. And it has to do with the meta ad algorithm. So the meta ad algorithm's deciding who to send our ad to. It's pulling from pools of data. Pool 1 is from converters, so those who have converted on our ad. And with converters, what Meta does is it basically takes all the data points on all the Meta profiles that have converted. And, there's over 1 million data points on each Meta profile. And it goes to find the similar data points between everyone who's converted. What are the similar behaviors, actions, trends, whatever. What's in similar between all these? And then it finds them, pulls them out, and it goes to look for profiles that got 98% of those, 83% of those, 87% of those for the next women that see the ad. So that makes sense, pool 1. But the problem is with pool 2. Pool 2 does the same thing, but for ad clickers. So it's finding the similar data points between the ad clickers and then biasing the meta ad algorithm to go towards, or weighting the meta ad algorithm to go towards these other profiles that have the same, close to the similar data points as the ad clickers. But if the ad clickers came from clicking here on the bottom before clicking ... see more, maybe they were scrolling fast, maybe they thought this was a lingerie store or something. They expected lingerie store. Oh, not what I expected. They leave, but their data gets captured and pulled to their meta profile data attributes on their profile gets kind of like shaken out like Scrabble pieces into pool 2. And it's incorrectly biasing the meta ad algorithm to go towards more unqualified meta profiles, unqualified women. So it literally just results in worse and worse results over time. Because if people are not clicking the ... see more, they're not getting pre-qualified. And we literally want most people to not click. And the best would be is if one person clicked the link on the ad, every time one person clicked the link, they also converted. That would actually be the best. Then pool 1 and pool 2 would be the exact same data points. But pool 2 is normally like, 10 to 50x bigger than pool 1, which is a massive, massive, massive issue. All right, so that's mistake number 9. Mistake number 10 now. I do not know if we're making the mistake here. Mistake number 10 here in this ad. Mistake number 10 is objective. Specifically, using the leads objective is always, always, always a mistake. Using leads objective is always a mistake, and here's why. When we choose our objective, with the city we're targeting, basically, Meta takes a 6% slice of the city and goes to those 6% slice, which is like, 95th percentile, highest probability to fill out a lead form. And, respond to some ads, respond and fill out a lead form with ads that, have these specific keywords in it. And that data is kind of based off of ads they've engaged with in the past, things they've typed into on Facebook, Instagram, and Google, because yes, they all share data. And also keywords that their phone microphone has picked up on, because yes, the Facebook and Instagram app is always listening to us, even if we're not on the phone. And it kind of like sucks those keywords in and pastes them on our meta profile for Facebook and Instagram ads. So our ads are going to the 6% slice that fill out lead forms, highest probability. Now the problem with this is we're optimizing for lead form filler outers. We're not optimizing for lead form filler outers who also answer our calls, texts, or emails. We're not optimizing for lead form filler outers who also book a call, show up to a call. We're not optimizing for lead form filler outers who buy. So this is a massive, massive, massive issue. Now, yes, all right, there will be a small dusting of lead form filler outers who also have some data on their meta profiles that they answer our phones, texts, and emails. So yes, they do respond to us. It's going to be another smaller dusting that, yes, they do also have the behavior on their meta profiles that they book a call, show up to a call. And yes, there's going to be a tinier dusting still that fills out lead form and then also buys. But we want buyers. Dude, OfferUp, we want buyers. We want people that buy. We want people that pay money for solutions to solve their negative experiences. And the problem with choosing lead forms is our ads are going to the meta profiles with the dominant behavior of lead form filler outer. I'm a lead form filler outer, but nothing about them being a buyer. Because if their dominant behavior on their meta profile was being a buyer, then they wouldn't be getting our ads to fill out the lead forms because they don't exhibit lead form filler outer behavior. Buyer is a totally different quadrant. And so by choosing lead form filler outers, you're literally telling Facebook, please send me to non-buyers, this is the most common mistake I see boudoir photographers making, actually, using lead form objective. I mean, we can just see, look at our data. Do most of the leads come through lead forms? Are they buyers or non-buyers? Probably mostly non-buyers because lead form filler outer is a non-buyer behavior. Because if buying was their dominant behavior, they never would have seen our lead forms in the first place. Because when we choose our objective, our ads only go to a 6% slice of the market, approximately. So the second thing with lead forms is, okay, it looks like, cool vanity metrics can $1, $1.50, $2 leads, whatever. But the number we want to care about is CAC. How much does it cost to acquire a paying client? So let's say we get 100 leads for $1 each. So we spend $100, we get one sale, $100 CAC. But let's say we target our ads to buyers and we get, I don't know, let's say 5 leads, $10 each, one person buys. So $20 per lead versus $1 per lead. But our CAC dropped in half. It cost us $50 to get someone to buy instead of 100. So we literally just doubled our ROAS. So it's CAC that matters, not lead cost. And also, yes, we're getting vanity metrics. Email list is growing, but it's growing with non-buyers, which literally screws up the rest of the business because they ain't buying. But then we're wondering, is there a follow-up email sequence? Is there a follow-up text message sequence? Did I call them too late? Did I call them too early? Did I say something wrong on the call? Is something wrong in my emails? Something wrong with my offer? So everything downstream from leads gets screwed up because these women were never going to buy anyways, no matter how perfect everything else was. So it literally screws up optimizing the rest of the funnel because we're incorrectly assuming they are buyers, but they're not. They're lead form filler outers, which is why our ads went to them, because we asked for lead form filler outers. We did not ask for buyers. And the final reason why this is an issue is it actually biases our meta pixel over time to be like more and more towards non-buyers, which means it's harder and harder to course correct later on the longer we do that and actually get our ads to go back towards buyers. Like we kind of got to correct back a farther distance from where we should have been. So that's mistake number 10. So we're going to score this ad now compared to the rest of the boudoir industry. So out of 10 mistakes, see how many of the top 10 mistakes we made. Look like an ad, yes. Missing the who, missing the negative, missing the positive. We got a hesitation / roadblock. A rare win from Peeps with that one. Almost everyone misses it. Missing a authority. Missing a story / narrative. Missing our full offer. Like, full offer stuff would be stuff like, is hair and makeup included? How many sets? How many outfit changes? Champagne included, strawberries, favorite music playlist, pricing, wave session fee or not. So we're missing all those things for the offer. And then, yeah, below creative headline button, always a mistake to have those. And then objective, yeah. It's all right. Well, half a mistake for objective because we actually don't know what objective we're using here. We don't know if it's leads or if we're using a correct objective. So this is 8.5 out of 10 Boudoir face, 8.5 out of 10 mistakes, and the average in the boudoir industry right now is 8 out of 10 boudoir Facebook ad mistakes. So yeah, right there around average, and definitely super simple mistakes to fix and have a much higher probability of getting way better results with this boudoir Facebook ad. And I do consider every boudoir Facebook ad that has more than 2 out of 10 of these mistakes to be a breaking down boudoir Facebook ad. You know, simply because I know the ad will actually be performing worse and worse over time the longer it runs. So it's breaking down. And if we've got a car that's performing worse and worse over time, it's breaking down more and more. Where do we bring the car? We bring it to a car mechanic. Similarly with our breaking down boudoir Facebook ad, where do we bring it to? If we want to get it fixed, we bring it to a boudoir Facebook ad mechanic. So if your boudoir Facebook ads have, have had these exact mistakes I talked about today, and you want to get them fixed, get better ads, higher ROAS, scale the business, more clients, more happy women, basically be the top of your social circle. All your other boudoir photographers, friends will be asking you how the heck you're doing so good with your business. Then, so if you want all that, and without really having to do anything, without having to do much, because I'll fix all this stuff for you. And I do have a boudoir Facebook ads offer for you today, which is kind of got two ways here, two options. Option one is I do basically a pay per root cause problem fixed on one ad, and I actually take the 10 mistakes, squish them down to 5 root cause problems. So I can do this in 30 minutes right now and give it 30 seconds right now and give a quick quote. Looks like an ad, yes. Root cause problem 1. See more headline. We got 1 out of 4 things, specific attributes. We need 4 out of 4. So root cause problem 2. See more headline. Ad copy. We need 3 out of 3 things. We got 0 out of 3. So root cause problem 3 is ad copy. Below creative headline and button. We got to get rid of those. That's root cause problem 4. And objective, we might be using the correct objective, so half a mistake here. So 5 root cause problems, we got 4.5 out of them. And I charge $50 per root cause problem solved on one ad. And yeah, you can take the fixes and put them on all your other ads as well. Or, duplicate the ad, add my fixes, see which one actually runs better, and just kind of delete the lower performer. And yeah, you can choose, one root cause problem fix or up to the maximum 4.5. If you did choose 4.5, it'd be 4.5 times $50 each, so $225 for this one ad to fix everything. We also got option 2, which is the much higher value option, which is where I'll fix all the mistakes in your ads that you want, and and then we can test it, side by side A/B test, just keep the winners. And I'll create as many new Boudoir Facebook ads as you want, all for $100 a month. Flat fee, cancel anytime, no contracts. We do it month to month, and you can collab with me as much or as little as you want. So yeah, both these, option 1, option 2 are both done for you. So I'll be doing all the work. And yeah, when you choose or when you decide which option you want, you got my phone number, you got my email, and then whatever social platform we're on, you can contact me, through DM. And when you hit me up, I'll ask you what you got for me, and then we'll go from there. All right, that's everything. Adios.